I need to eventually get a microphone. What's up, guys? I'm gonna be starting soon. I'm just gonna post the link to Facebook so people on that platform know that we are live. How are you all doing today? Are y'all enjoying the moment? Flowing in the moment? Yeah, give me the preview. Okay, here we go. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I'm sure it can like pick up the striking of the keys as I'm typing in the description. All right. It took longer than it probably needed to, but that's okay. Yo, 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 Yahoo! Yes, welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, our platform to become your spiritual server. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to change it or not. Not that I don't like spiritual server, but I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it like that. But anyways, how are you all doing? Thank you so much for joining me in this live video. I'm actually going to go ahead and put these glasses back on. There we go. I just didn't want there to be too much glare on my glasses. I wanted to make sure I had enough light. I don't think there's too much glare, just the way I have it positioned. Do you guys like my shirt? Yeah, I got this the other day, and I was like, I have to get that shirt. I definitely do. I don't have a lot of Aquarius energy. I have Saturn and Aquarius at like 1 degree, and that's it. But today I was just feeling, this is what I wanted to rock out with today. So, thank you for joining me on this video. We're going to be diving deeper into this Venus retrograde. And this Venus retrograde, which right now is at about, I want to say it's like 8 degrees or so of Scorpio. And it began as retrograde at 10 degrees of Scorpio, and it will go all the way back into 25 degrees of Libra. So it'll ingress back into its home sign of Libra it will hit the 25-degree mark, and then it'll begin to come forward. So this is what's known as the shadow zone, or the shadow period. This is known as the area where a planet goes over these particular degrees, which you could think of degrees as like stepping stones or like steps, or think of them like almost like planks on a bridge. And it's like it includes this area that the planet or the celestial body went over, retracted, and then went back forward. So I like to think of it as a bridge in many ways, and I like to think of each degree as a kind of like a different plank and stuff. So what's the benefit and why we have retrogrades is because sometimes when we cross that bridge initially, even though we might have not even realized there was a bridge there, we might have fallen. We might have not seen that there were a couple planks that weren't there, and we didn't try and jump over the plank, or we might have not known. And this can manifest its way in, and I want you to think of that metaphor as far as like walking like across a bridge, and maybe while the planet was going forward, there were like 3 planks that were missing, and then like you fell because you didn't realize that there weren't planks right there. They were always there, but sometimes based off of the energies and how they're hitting us in our chart and how we are reacting and responding to it, depending upon our level of awareness, will determine whether or not we choose to just keep walking anyway, as if the plank was always there, or even if it wasn't there, that we will still be afloat and we won't fall to the water below. But sometimes we fall, or sometimes we perceive that we fall, right? Sometimes we trip up and then we fall into the river below, and then we're swept away by that current. The retrograde motion allows us to re-examine these steps, or these different points, these different degrees, these different planks on this bridge. It allows us to reassess our experiences and what we learned and gained from this. It allows us to make cuts when we need to. So when the planet comes back over that energy, when it comes in its forward motion, it will begin. It's almost like you get like a redo or like a re-over. It's a beautiful thing. It's like it actually allows for this element of like we really do have choice. Now, when the celestial body reaches that point again, you can very well make the same decision you made when it came there the first time. The only difference is that now the energies have shifted. There's been more energy that's been like, more, energy from like the planets, the celestial bodies. There's more stuff, more information to consider. So even if you make that same decision, you might end up getting a different outcome, like than on the trajectory that you were before. It's almost like you get to this point where it's almost like a fork in the road, right? And then it's like, okay, well, you retrograde motion, then you come back, and then now you come forward again. You might have been going in a direction where you wanted to take this road, or like, let's just say this is A and this is B, right? So say like, on your initial trajectory under the normal circumstances, and you kind of just acting in the way you generally do, you might have taken road A, right? But then you go retrograde motion, it goes back. Now, when you come back to that juncture where you can go either A or B, you can still pick A. Like it is absolutely possible, but B is of course always the option. And sometimes we realize that we want to take B because perhaps the way that A was going is like it was in a place where we were reacting and not as high vibrational of a way that we could, or not as aware as we can. Interesting enough, there's another option though, because if you do choose A, you realize that A is also split into 2. So it's like it's either you make that same decision, but perhaps you make it really work out in your favor, or you might not make it work in your favor. So there's like a C option as well. So that's really kind of describing retrograde motions and how it does offer this opportunity to really exercise our free will. But a lot of times what happens is that people aren't really aware of the retrogrades. The only retrograde that people are aware of is Mercury retrograde. And it's even making its way into like popular culture and media and stuff. And I think it's great. I think people need to be aware of Mercury retrograde. Interesting enough, as I became more versed in studying astrology, it's not that Mercury retrogrades aren't like, sometimes like things can get all weird and wacky. You know how Mercury retrograde can be. But what I found is that the past few, I've like kind of just went with the flow of things and just allowed things to be. And I found that they weren't really that bad. They really weren't You know, not that they weren't challenging, but I didn't really find too many resistances, you know, to trying to work out some of these issues and stuff. So it's it's good that that's kind of coming more into the popular media and stuff. But you know, Venus retrograde is going to be one that will most certainly appear. I feel as well, at least after this Venus retrograde, because this Venus retrograde is really intense. You got to think about it. This is in the sign of Scorpio. Venus typically prefers not to be in Scorpio, right? Venus would much rather be in Libra or Taurus. You know, the signs that it rules. But when it's in Scorpio, it's like you're like going to the depth of the ocean, you know, and trying to find comfort in a place that has so much pressure. I'm not going to say stress, but I'm going to say pressure. And there's such a vibrant culture there too. There's such a vibrant life force there, but it appears so dark. It appears like there could be nothing there, but there is light there. There is a lot of beauty there at the bottom of the ocean stuff. And Scorpio kind of represents that. And it represents this sort of, it represents psychology in many ways too. So there's Venus, you know, what does Venus rule? Venus rules, you know, it's canon, you know, this canon like the planet of love, right? But it also rules like what we find attractive, what we find valuable, as far as projects and people. What do we find valuable in people? It's a very grounding energy too. It's about connecting to the abundance, these resources that we have, and how to really see the value in that and really appreciate the value of those things. So, with it being here in Scorpio, we're learning to appreciate our mental health and our psychological health, because even though Scorpio is a sign of emotions, it very much so is a psychological sign as well, very deeply psychological. And sometimes we can find ourselves into some very weird and dark corners, don't you know? I mean, we've all been there where you might have cornered yourself within your mind, and then those thoughts will trigger emotions, and then emotions will trigger thoughts, and it's just kind of like this endless loop. It's a feedback loop. But once you begin to unravel more of like, you know, who you are, you begin to kind of open up to, yes, this experience is infinite, it's abundant. There's so much here that we really don't know. But it's like we have this thirst to keep moving forward. That's another thing about Scorpio. It's the investigator. Scorpio will go to the ends of the earth to find the truth. And that's what we are kind of all are being really kind of forced to look at. With the force that flows through all of us is wanting us to examine that, these deeper currents, the psychological health, how we value our connection to other people too, because Scorpio is the house of shared resources. And it's interesting how it's the house of shared resources, right? And you think about Scorpio is this water, the element, fixed water. It's very much so a very spiritual sign, but it's kind of like this interesting bridge in many ways. So we actually share this resource, this beautiful sea of energy all around us. It's a shared resource, and it's this incredible. And I'm giving you some like deeper energy. There's some deeper information right now, but it's not really when you just really begin to think about it that in this space here, in this space right here, there's a lot of recorded information. There's an incredible amount of recorded information, whether I can see things here or not. In this very spot, there were different kinds of animals that roamed here, different kinds of plants that have grown here. There might have been glaciers here at one point where I'm at. And all of that information, all of the interactions that happened there have been recorded, you know. It's a very interesting thing to think about. So that's a very unique power. But then also the thing about Scorpio is this aspect of boundaries, because what there is to have a to have our shared resource being in fixed water, we definitely do need to come up with some type of, you know, boundary or structure. So it's like Scorpio doesn't mind going to the ends of the earth, but it's almost like you get to like this outer edge, and it really is the outer edge because it's Pluto, right? That's what Scorpio is. Pluto rules Scorpio, so it really is the outer edge. But we still have to kind of like come back to center, and that's what it is. Like it's the figure eight, It always comes back to center. So I think what we're doing and uncovering with this Venus retrograde, it's going to go back into Libra. So this is very much so about partnerships and love. This is very much so about our deeper desires, our deeper wants, what we truly value, and then whether or not the people in our life reflect that in us or are willing to compromise or willing to integrate. I would say balance, but I want to say integrate more because I feel like integration is what we're aiming for, not balance. I think it's like we're trying to, because when you balance things, you still kind of oppose them, right? Even if you equal them out. Now, unless you equal them out and put them into the same container, which would be integration, I think that would be a more ideal way of going about it. But this is about integration, you know, about this true sense of non-judgment, which is hard to. Non-judgment is a practice. Non-judgment is certainly a practice, and I think this Venus retrograde is going to be honing in on that as well, practicing non-judgment. And it's an interesting thing because we have judgment just so widespread in our culture. We really do. And everyone is exposed to it and no one is immune to it. We all have judged, but and we all want to use it under the guise that we care. And I would say 99% of the time it is because we care. There is another weird percent where there is some serious dark influences at hand. And some people have, for lifetimes, have allowed themselves to kind of just dig deeper and deeper and deeper into these wounds. But everyone has their own journey, everyone has their own experience. And I think right now, what we still have to realize is that God's chosen people can only be the entire human race, which includes everything here on this planet. At least that's what my belief is. So looks like we have some people up in the house. Welcome, Danielle. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. We're going to get into the reading. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Venus retrograde and what is what I'm at least picking up on. For me, just like, you know, like personally, I've been very sleepy lately. This retrograde is happening for me in my 11th house, but it's like it got pretty close to my 12th house. So it's like I've been really sleepy. I've been such a freaking hermit. It's like I want to connect and I want to go out sometimes, but then I just hermit up. I'm like, well, it's so much easier to hermit. It's so much easier to just stay in, make a couple of videos, and then, you know, watch anime. Like it happens. But I'm having to learn how to like. I appreciate both of them, so I'm having to learn how to like, you know, figure out and raise each of those to have to the highest vibration and then learn to integrate it. So that's one of my things that I'm working on is reaching out. And this is a part of it. This is 11th house right here. So this is all a part of it. So it's like I already know that the direction of this channel, like I'm still going to be making videos and stuff, but I also know that it's going through a major transformation right now. I know it is. So that's why I'm really excited to be doing this. I'm really excited to be making this live video because, you know, as someone who's been making videos for a while, as someone who's developed confidence on camera and who doesn't mind if they trip over their words or say something weird, I still get anxious before every video. Like I do. Like it may seem like it just kind of flows. It may seem like I'm like really like just confident and stuff, and I am, but there's sometimes where I'm terrified to get on camera. Because I'm like, what if I say something weird? Or what if I reveal too much information? Then my conspiracy mind goes like off on a weird tangent. And then it's just like I can rationalize doing something else or something like that. But I push through, I come on, and you know, I know I have a lesson in this when it comes to connecting with other people and really finding how I can be a better service to myself, my source that I connect to, and of course everything that I perceive is around me, but I know is within me. So that's the weird thing. They say that the eyes are, you know, they're like the pathway to the soul. And it's interesting. It's like it's incredible actually how I feel like we really are all stars and it's like this experience that's being presented to us. This is a very magical adventure. And it doesn't always feel magical. It certainly doesn't feel magical when you're sitting in traffic at 7 o'clock in the morning trying to make it to work. It certainly doesn't feel magical when you stub your toe, out of bed. It certainly doesn't feel magical when such and so denies your request to woo them on a magical night in the city. Yeah, it doesn't always feel magical, but at the same time, it is also very magical to overcome, to triumph, to, you know, keep moving forward, stay focused, and yahoo! Smile often. There's something to be said about overcoming as well. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to be drawing cards for each of the 12 signs. And I've been called to draw a couple of other cards in addition to that. So, and I have like a very particular spread that I'm doing for this, and I'll show you it in a moment. But what I'm first going to do, I'm going to draw a color card because I've been called to draw one at the beginning and at the end of this reading. And this is going to apply for everybody. By the way, this reading is a general reading, so it's like I also would encourage you to not only watch for your sun sign, but to also watch for your moon and your rising, and especially your Venus, because this is about Venus. So I would definitely encourage you to watch your Venus. I would also encourage you to watch your Jupiter sign, just because Jupiter is also in Scorpio, and that's going to give you even a deeper hint as to what's going to be the outcome of this Venus retrograde, or just even the outcome of the Scorpio season, because it's going to be shifting into Sag, and the new adventure is about to begin. So Jupiter is going to kind of give you some like clues and hints as to what's going to be unearthed and uncovered from the depths of Scorpio. So. And this is a very perfect card. We have the card of Protect Yourself. The card of Protect Yourself. Azure, Protect Yourself. So this is very Scorpio energy. And it's interesting how it's showing a picture of the sky. And it's funny because when you think of Scorpio, you usually think of like the bottom of the ocean, or you think of the underworld, you think of hell. But this is showing a picture of the sky. And I think what this is really saying is that you definitely have guides and angels who are protecting you so much right now. You have so much protection right now that if you just believed, if you just gave just a drop of belief into the idea that you are guided and you are protected, then you will be okay. You will make it through this time. You will make it through this period that may seem harrowing, that may seem like a shadow just looming over you, that may make you feel, quite frankly, it's like one day you may want to do this, but then the other day you're feeling another way. This is going for like everybody too, right? This is the divine feminine energy kind of taking some shots right now, but it's also an incredible deep opportunity to transform in a super powerful way. And I think the other thing about this card that I like that is showing the sky is that, the oceans rise and fall and stuff. The tides come up and down. So it's like the ocean levels rise and fall. I definitely believe that there are different sea creatures swimming around me right now. I have seen them before, actually. Um, and in fact, I actually do have to believe that the being we are in, or somewhere up the chain, is a gigantic jellyfish. But anyways, that's just me and my interesting stuff. But it just feels right to me. I think jellyfish are quite frankly amazing. I think they hold an incredible key to life as well. But that's the color card for the beginning. I also was drawn to pick a Pokemon card, and I picked the card Sandshrew. So it's kind of interesting how Sandshrew came up. I was just what I did for this one was like I put the cards down and I was shuffling through, and I just picked a card. I went to number 24 because the sun today is at 24 degrees of Libra, so I wanted to kind of sync up with that. And I get Sandshrew, which is a sand mouth Pokemon. It's kind of like the equivalent to Pikachu in first generation, except it's a ground type. And of course, its evolutionary, its next evolution up, Sandslash was one of my original favorites. But I think it's cool that I got Sandshrew because Sandshrew does kind of represent these two extremes. It's able to survive in these super arid conditions. It's able to survive in the desert where it seems like nothing can grow because it's able to roll up its body into a ball, and it can just roll around like that. And it has incredible digging abilities. So it's like sometimes we can feel buried and stuff, but Sandshrew doesn't really mind to be buried because Sandshrew will create a whole network of tunnels there under there, and really will be able to come up, and then when it needs to, it's able to survive in the most arid conditions. And I think this is a testament to how hardy we are as humans, to how hardy this world is, because even though we feel and we can clearly see that we are destroying the environment, the earth has gone through many rebirths. And and some people and I do believe that we need to definitely take into consideration taking care of this earth more. Absolutely. I don't think that we are going to destroy this earth, though. I think the earth will destroy us definitely before we destroy it. But and I just think the earth is just that powerful. I really do. I think the earth will just return back to its natural state if we were somehow wiped out. I know that went on a weird dark turn right there, but I think it's a testament to also just how powerful this Eden is, how powerful this garden is. The earth is the garden in many ways. You think it's like a particular place, but it's this whole earth. We've been gifted an incredible resource, an incredible home, and we have multiple times throughout human history have been able to claw ourselves out of seemingly arid and desolate situations. So if right now you're feeling kind of like emotionally or even psychologically like in a desolate place, know that you can make it through. And it's okay to burrow through a bit and hibernate and get your warmth. That's what Sagittarius is. That's what Sagittarius is. Think about it. At least here in the northern hemisphere, that's the time of winter. But it's a mutable fire sign. So that's why you come together. That's why families come together. That's why friends come together. They come together, they surround themselves with good people. You have good food. You have drinks that warm you, and you cuddle together. You get the warmth. It's like when you see on those nature documentaries, the penguins coming together. They're doing that. You come together and you harness that warmth. So there's nothing wrong with this whole aspect, and I will go and say it, death. This seemingly death, this seemingly darkness, this seemingly time where you feel buried. No, you're just actually incubating. You're getting ready. You're doing this. Like, oh yes, that's all right. Because when spring comes, bam, you're just gonna pop out. You're gonna like stunting on them. You're like, yes, that's right. That's right. Y'all thought I was buried? Nah. I don't even know. Apparently, that's what Sandshrew wanted to say to you guys. Anyways, let me show you all. Thank you, Philip Daniel Miles, for joining. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I really do. If you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my brother, Philip Daniel Miles. He is a very poetic spiritualist, astrologer, infinite being that I've had the pleasure of speaking with twice. I'm sure we'll do another talk probably sometime, I don't know, I think we were just saying something about when Jupiter went into Sagittarius. I think that would be really fun. So, but anyways, I've already gone probably like 30 or so minutes, and I haven't pulled any cards yet. So, but that's okay. Besides the overall cards. So like I said, you probably want to watch this for like your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and I would say Jupiter as well. If you don't know what any of those are, there are a lot of different online resources that you can go to figure them out. Different like free birth chart. I guess they'll just show you your birth chart. I know Astro Cafe is one. Also, I of course do readings myself, so shameless plug here. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can follow the link in the description below to theaquarianadams.com. I am running a sale on all of my services right now, so I just have 3 different tiers of astrology readings, but I would help you to unravel it even more about, the importance of like your Venus sign, your Jupiter sign, your Moon sign, how they affect each other and stuff. But anyways, so hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I don't know if it's going to be reversed, but this is basically what I had in mind. It's going to be 8 cards. Since I know it's 12 signs, I know this video is probably going to run long. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, I'm not tripping. I'm really not. What I'm going to do, hold on, let's see if I can hold it up better, because it doesn't look like you guys saw everything. Let me try that again. Been feeling something coming, not sure what. All right. I'm trying to show you guys here because I'm looking, I have like 2 tabs open. So I want to make sure I'm interacting with you guys, but I want to also make sure that I can show you everything. Anyways, the general idea was that I feel like this is about a bridge. So in many ways, I see Libra as a bridge. And I was thinking like, well, I wanted to kind of come up with my own special spread. So what I'm going to do is draw 8 cards, and I have the first card kind of up in this spot, and the second card is going to be down here. And the 1 card is going to represent spirit. The number 2 card is going to represent your soul. So in many ways, you can see it as your sun and your moon. You can see it as that. Then there's going to be a number 3 card, and that's going to represent your overcome, like how you overcame this challenge. And number 4 is going to be the challenge card. Number 5 is going to be the water that's under the bridge. It's the past. It's what's flowing away. It's what's being let go of. It's what's being transformed in many ways, because, you know, there's a reason why we walk across bridges and then we stop and look over the edge. You know, there's a reason why we do that. We trust that the bridge is going to hold us up, and they don't always hold us up, but we also want to see the pretty view. We want to see a reflection in the water. Sometimes we look at our reflection in the water and we don't necessarily like what we see. Sometimes it's super sparkly. Sometimes we'll see like, you know, a mother duck and like 6 of her, you know, ducklets just like swimming on by. So there's a reason why we stop and ponder on bridges. Sometimes the planks give out from under us. This is a metaphor, you know. Sometimes they don't. But number 5 is going to represent the past, the water under the bridge, what's being transformed. Card number 6 is going to be above the bridge, and it's going to be like how to look up, like looking towards the future, looking towards the now and the present, and what, you know, what you can be appreciative of right now. Number 7 is going to be what is possible, because this bridge that we're walking across with this retrograde is actually leading us to the edge of pretty much like kind of like this cliff, and then it's going to be the ocean. That ocean is Scorpio energy. So it's almost like we're going to come like to the beach. You know, this bridge is going to lead all the way out, almost like a pier. And then number 7 is just going to be the ocean itself, the sea of possibilities, where you can go, where you can explore. So if you think of like this, just kind of imagine in your head, this Venus retrograde went to 10 degrees of Scorpio and retrograde back. 10 degrees is sort of like the edge of the pier. 11 degrees will be jumping into the ocean. And that's what 7 is. It's what is possible. And number 8 is going to be the outcome of really this Venus retrograde and Scorpio season, and what this is going to mean for the transformation of ourselves and the collective. In many ways, you can see the 8 card as Jupiter, because Jupiter has gone farther than Venus at this time. It will be, of course, playing an effect because it's already gone through these degrees. So Jupiter, this is why Jupiter kind of has kind of like a little hint or a clue as to what's going to become of this transformation. So that's why I say you probably want to also look for your Jupiter sign. But that's what the reading is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through from Aries all the way to Pisces in the normal order. If you don't want to watch the whole time, it's okay, because I know this might run a little long. I'm going to do my best to try and get through each and explain, you know, what I need to explain. But I'm also going to timestamp it after the video. So after I'm done filming, if you want to go back and watch for your particular signs, I'm going to timestamp each one. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Today I'm using my Shadowscapes Tarot deck. Been feeling something coming, not sure what. Yes, Natalie, I have been feeling it too. I really have been, and I still kind of like, I know something great is coming. I know there's going to be like some wow stuff, and it's also going to be like, you know, I kind of knew this was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to happen in this way. I kind of have that feeling as well. But I'm really just doing my best to just remain open to the experience and open to what comes. All right, so first card for Aries has fallen out. Alrighty then. So let me get this set up. I know you guys won't be able to see it from your end, but I'm gonna have it all laid out on my side. That is really interesting that will come up like that. Let's see. And I'm gonna read all the cards right side up because I'll consider the retrograde motion, but okay. Aries. Aries. Whoa, what is going on here? All right, Aries. Okay, so for your first card, all right. Well, just give me 1 second, guys. All right, Aries. So for your first card, this card represents your spirit right now. What spirit wants you to know is the card of the Magician, and this is incredible. This is talking about you tapping into your manifesting abilities. This is talking about you actually mastering the 4 elements. People don't really they don't really think about that aspect of the Magician as well. Is that the Magician is the master of all 4 elements. The Magician is the avatar. So it's I also think it's great how the Magician is ruled by Gemini in tarot, which of course for you is your 3rd house. So this in many ways does have to do. There's a communication aspect that's coming forth, but since this Venus retrograde is in your 8th house, coming back into your 7th house, there is obviously this need to establish better communication and better boundaries with those around you and with yourself, so you may move forward into the future confidently and express these deeper desires that you have. But since this is Venus energy, this is like it's been kind of interesting for you. Mars just came out of shadow, so you're finally starting to get your fire back. And it's like right now, it's almost like you're acting, you're doing things, and it's like it's kind of like it's not giving you exactly what you want. You're not really getting you feel like you're almost always overexerting yourself. You're seeing some progress, but it's not giving you the chunks that you want. The Magician here is saying that you are the master of all 4 elements. You are the avatar. So you can create your reality any way that you see. And what's interesting is that we had the Sun card appeared in the soul spot, in the card of the soul, which is talking about the moon and your emotions. The sun, or so they say, reflects the sun's light. Although I think that the moon does have, the moon reflects the sun's light. Yeah, I think the moon has its own light, or at least can harness the light, and then actually project it outward. But this is interesting because this is actually going to be tapping you very much so into the moon cycle. And interesting enough, the moon is in Aquarius, and the moon will come over Mars as well. So you are definitely being activated in this during this Venus retrograde, as really knowing your strength, knowing your power, knowing that you really can manifest anything. But you have to tap into all 4 elements. You can't just get so caught up in the fire. You can't just get so caught up in the earth, or so caught up in the water, so caught up in the air. You have to learn how to, and you of course have a predisposition towards particular elements. And that's the interesting thing. I want to let people know too. It's like, just because your sun is in a particular sign doesn't necessarily mean that you work with that element the best. And that's an interesting thing, because sometimes there's an element that will arise for you that it might take you initially some more effort to work with that element, but then you'll discover that you are actually kind of like a prodigy with that element. So, and like I said, we all can master all 4 elements. So even if you are a sun in Aries, or like I said, if you have a moon here or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that fire is your best element. But it just really means that you have a predisposition to it. You have this opening, you have this sensor within you that kind of reacts when that fire energy, that creation energy, that initiation energy comes forward. So the way that you're overcoming this is actually through the strength of your emotions, because we have the Knight of Cups here. So this is going to be a very deep time for you. but you're chasing the holy grail. You're going for it. You're going for that love. You're going for that job, that promotion. You're going for whatever it is. And it's like, you just know you're going to get it. You just know you're going to get it. That's what's going to allow you to overcome this. The challenge, interesting enough, is this idea of you being able to harvest the manifestations, you being able to harvest um, the signal that you put out to the universe that, I want such and so, or I want to, have this experience. You absolutely can be the magician and bring into reality. But do you believe in your ability to harvest once it has appeared? Do you believe in your ability to actually act when the opportunity arises, which is interesting because you would think that Aries wouldn't have that big of an issue with this because Aries stereotypically are impulsive. But this year, with Mars having gone through its retrograde, and of course Venus going through its retrograde, and these energies squaring each other, it's put interesting kind of like pause on the impulsiveness of the Aries energy, and for good measure, for good reason, because these aspects need to be balanced and then subsequently integrated. So what the water under the bridge is the Four of Swords, though. So what's under the bridge is this whole idea of honestly rest. This is probably gonna make you very busy. After once Venus is done with this retrograde and it comes out of the shadow, you're gonna be feeling great because Mars, I think by that time Mars will actually be in Pisces. So a lot of you will be acting on your dreams and stuff like that. A lot of you can really be like living out your fantasies. Just be careful that you don't get too caught up in delusions if they actually aren't beneficial to the overall increasing of your vibration. So there's that to be wary of. But what's kind of being put to rest are a lot of these fears. A lot of these fears are kind of under the bridge. A lot of the ways that other people have made it set things to approach you, this communication, a lot of this is just water under the bridge. You're ready to charge forward. You're ready to move because what's in the now, what's in the future. We have this Ace of Pentacles energy. So it's you knowing your value, you really, really knowing and embodying your value. That's what's kind of being like whispered in your ear right now. This is what's in the present moment. This is what's in the present moment. In many ways, you could think of the Ace of Pentacles as like a lot of the different steps on that bridge. These are all the different steps. So it has everything to do with how you value yourself and how you value your connection to other people, how you value those in your life, friends, family, colleagues, romantic relationships. The Sea of Opportunities is the King of Swords. So this is interesting. So a person can be coming forth in your life, an air sign. I'm feeling a little bit more likely an Aquarius, if anything, mainly because Mars is an Aquarius, so it would make sense. But it definitely can be Gemini or Libra, or it could just be some aspect of you even, where you are really going to feel like your voice is powerful. You're really going to feel that you can really command things into existence through the power of your voice, through the power of your intent. So it will be advantageous for you to say affirmations. It will be, or incantations, like, calling things into your being, like, today I become strong. Today I become powerful. Today I become one with myself. Today I become, and you can even like, if you put the ing too, like you actually like really bring into the present, or like I'm becoming. That way you add action to it as well. We have the Six of Swords though as the outcome. So something is being left behind. The situation is being left behind. Some of you might be leaving a relationship. Some of you might be leaving a job. Some of you might be leaving a fear that held you back. That's probably all of you. But what's really coming forth for you all, Aries, is realizing that you are the treasure. You are the treasure. And Aries, you're the rawest sign of the zodiac. Y'all have a lot of firepower. Like people people like to say that, oh, Aries, you're just impulsive. Oh my gosh, you're just like, chill out. I'm like, sometimes, and take it from the Scorpio who likes to chill and stuff, and a Pisces moon, right? It's like sometimes it's not about chilling out. Sometimes you just gotta get it done. And you just got to find what's going to get it done for you in your life for this Venus retrograde. All right, so I think that's pretty good so far as like a little taste of how this is going to go. So I don't think I spent too much time on Aries. But Taurus, what do we have going on for you? Venus does rule your sign, so it'll be interesting to see what comes up for you, Taurus. All right. Wow, that's interesting. It always happens like that too. Wow, okay. Interesting. It's kind of similar to Aries, but it's obviously a little bit different. So, okay. So this is for if you have your sun, moon, or rising of Taurus. So if you have your Venus here, or your Mars, or your Jupiter, you're just cross watching. So in the card slot of spirits, we have the sun. Ah, look at that. We got a matchup. So this is interesting for you, Taurus, because this is really speaking to you really radiating that love, radiating that light, just simply being. This is about you standing in your radiance. This is about you standing in that space, but also allowing yourself to be, and I'm just kind of bringing this up because the thing about the sun is that like it's such an incredible power source, and it seems like its influence is so incredible and it's vast, and it is. And even though it's a perception game, the moon can sometimes eclipse the sun. How something can be that powerful and have that big of an influence. The moon can eclipse the sun. So it's also about humbling. It's about being humble too, being humble to the experience of becoming. So it's like, yeah, Taurus, you're definitely going to be really feeling super powerful, really super authentic, wanting to be yourself. And you may even have a little bit of diva in you too. I'm just kind of feeling like bringing that out. Venus is in Scorpio, so it's just your seventh house, so it makes sense. But also, this is going to be a great moment for you to really, like I said, stand in your light, stand in your truth. For the moon slot or the soul slot, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And this is really going to connect you back to Mother Gaia. This is going to be Taurus for you, especially. Go outside and put your feet in the grass, ground, just feel that fall is here. Feel the autumnal energy. Just tap into it and just feel the transformation that is happening as the leaves change colors, as things prepare to go into hibernation, as we gather that warmth. You can see how she has the sun on top of her and how she's like gathering that energy, gathering that warmth right there. So this is really going to be a great time for you to come into your heart space. Bring that warmth in because really, yes, we are in the fall and we are heading into the winter or when things seem dead and desolate. But there is like a little acorn of light that you can huddle around. So we have the way that you're going to overcome this Venus retrograde and the experiences and the challenges is the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles coming up here. And I think this is a very natural step to have after Aries got it in the sixth card position, which is the present and the now. It's almost going to be like Taurus is kind of taking what Aries did and now setting up the foundation of where their bridge is like connected to on the other side. So we can really begin to say, it's like, oh, okay, so this is like the ocean that we're about to go into. Cool. So, but the way that you're going to overcome this is by recognizing your value, recognizing your truth, having that self-confidence, realizing that you are gold. You are a spiritual infinitaire. When you realize that, there will be nothing that can stop you. Taurus might take a little bit while to go. Taurus is stubborn energy, arguably the most stubborn energy of the zodiac. It's that fixed earth, but it opposes that fixed water energy. So all these energies are opposing you, Taurus. So it's been a tough time because you've been having to kind of drag yourself out of bed. You've been having to drag yourself to do things. Some of you may have been experiencing that. But it's like once a Taurus gets going, tell me who's going to stand in front of that. Not even Aries wants to stand in front of that. And Aries would stand in front of it too, just because they're that guy. Like, Aries will do it just because they're that guy. But who's going to get in front of a bunch of Tauruses that really know their truth? Scorpio tries. Scorpio along with Aries is one of the few that will actually like get in front of it. And Scorpio will stand there too, and the bulls will run through them, and they'll just be water and it'll just phase through them. But Scorpio will still feel it, even though it just permeates through their body. Like Scorpio will be like, "Oh, see, it's okay. I wasn't hurt by that," but they're actually crying on the inside. I don't know where that went. I don't know where my imagination went. But anyways, just realize your value towards she'll make it through. But we do have the Queen of Cups, which is Scorpio's card. So your child is very well maybe a Scorpio Taurus. Like a Scorpio may be standing in your way, and if you just realize your strength and your power and just roll through them, they're gonna act all nonchalant, be like, "Yeah, that didn't hurt me," but they're gonna be like, "Damn it, that fucking hurt." That hurt. I don't know why I'm laughing because I'm a Scorpio, so I'm probably standing in some Taurus's way or something. You can also see it as a beautiful opportunity to alchemize and to work with your opposite, to integrate. You saw how I switched right there? The water under the bridge is this King of Swords energy. So I don't know what's going on. There seems to be some kind of because whenever you get court cards that come up, especially in readings like this, a story really begins to unravel. It's like who's playing what position and stuff. So for Aries, the ocean of possibilities was the King of Swords. And here it's the water under the bridge. Kind of interesting. Maybe we're creating another bridge in a higher dimension that's straddling a whole ocean. Anyways. What's under the bridge is this whole need, I feel, Taurus, for you to maybe come across as a little judgmental. Really, for you, practicing non-judgment will be very powerful this month because you're really going to be feeling more connected to the earth and to Gaia and to that source, that groundedness. So you're not really going to have too much time to be worried about what people are saying about each other. Of course, you want better communication because since this is the past and the water under the bridge is also being transformed right now. So I think for you, communication definitely will be changing. And like I said, air signs, some of you may be leaving an air sign in the past if you happen to be going through a split in a relationship. So some of you may have been paired up. What Aquarius will definitely be very karmic. Aquarius will be super karmic. But yeah, Gemini and Libra as well. I do have the feeling that what could also be this water under the bridge is maybe the dynamic of that relationship. Maybe you're not actually leaving that person, but maybe you kind of are because your whole relationship is changing. That's another interesting thing about this time is that, you know, when your time is done with someone, your time is done with someone, right? Sometimes you're in it for a season. Some people are in it for more than a season or three or two or whatever, you know. But some people are in your life for a lifetime. That's just how it goes. But I think what we're also unraveling is, you know, if you do really want things to work out, they will work out. I think what happens is that oftentimes, especially people within the new age spiritual community, they'll get into these relationships. Things, of course, they go through the honeymoon phase like anyone else. And then it begins to transform. And it's like, even though they're obsessed with self transformation and really figuring out their purpose and self actualization, they really like the transformation. They are simultaneously the most afraid of it, but that's why they go towards it. Like really, like I'm telling you, like the path in this journey of really unraveling who you are is a terrifying journey, but it's also the most exhilarating and it's just the most profound and beautiful journey and the most rewarding journey you'll ever go on. So it's like, I think what's happening is that we're realizing that relationships are transforming. So For some of you, the water that's under the bridge is the dynamic of your relationship is changing. You know, maybe it's evolving to the next level. And yes, the other person's going to be different. And you're going to have to, you know, are you willing to work with that? Are you willing to compromise? Are you willing to integrate? Or are you ready to move on? That's really going to be up to you. And since we have the Four of Pentacles here, some of you very may well hold on. But you very may well hold on because it's like you realize that you actually do have a beautiful golden nugget right now and a beautiful moment, and you really don't want to give it up. It's almost like a deeper appreciation. It's like it's in many ways you're having to overcome this these deeper emotions rising up and really just completely taking over a situation and just really because that's sometimes the dark side of the Scorpio energy because it's like this deep like pull you into the deep water currents, but you know we can overcome those areas by really allowing ourselves to go with the flow and not allowing ourselves to be pulled down, but to actually go into a different kind of current, a different kind of wave. So some of you may be realizing that you have everything you need right now, and it's okay to hold on to them. We have, in the sea of possibilities, we have the Ace of Wands. So what's possible is whatever you want to manifest. You can just wave your wand and bam. That's really what's open, sea of possibilities. But we do have the Eight of Cups here as the outcome. So this is talking about some type of emotional loss or leaving a situation behind. So similar to Aries, some of you may emotionally check out of a relationship this month or during this Venus retrograde. Some of you may just like, you know, you may be like, you know, you may be feeling over, you may be feeling done. Some of you may just really want to just go pursue that crazy dream that you never really thought you could do, but it's like you are now really starting to believe in yourself. Just, of course, be careful that you don't burn bridges because I think that this Ace of Wands here is it presents this weird energy where you may burn bridges with people that you don't necessarily need to separate yourself from like that. And sometimes we will do that, and then we'll realize it, of course, later down the road, or even in that time, it's like, oh, I guess you really were trying to help me out. But you know, we don't always know in those moments. So just do your best to be open to the experience. Know that you are letting go of something. Know that something deep and emotional is transforming. But know that really there's so much that you can do, Taurus. Like it's almost like your being just gives like the universe is almost like, okay, Taurus, what do you want? It's like, can it be anything? Yeah, just anything, just anything you want. Just as big, as crazy as you just go wild, child. That's the universe is like for you, Taurus. And all you have to do is be like, Dum. You'll be good. Gemini. What we got for you? It's 5:03 right now. Done 2 signs. Maybe it'll go. It probably will go to 6 o'clock. I guess this is going to end up being a little bit longer than I wanted to. But like I said, I will go back and timestamp it. So Natalie, Virgo Moon Ascendant. So are you saying your sun is in Virgo and your moon is Virgo and your ascendant is Capricorn? Born on the cusp. Oh, okay, I get it. Born on the cusp, August 23rd. I feel more Leo. Yeah, that can definitely happen where you can definitely feel more one than the other. I tap into my Pisces energy a lot, and like I've actually kind of differentiated between the Pisces and the Scorpio vibe. It's definitely interesting. Very similar, because I feel like when I think about like those energies, you got to think that Neptune is also trining this energy. So it's like we have like this beautiful gift from spirit, but like Pisces in many ways, like when Pisces gets angry, it's like the raging ocean. You know, that's what it's kind of like. Um, I think another good example of like a Piscean energy that may seem like maybe out of control or something like that, or actually helping to churn up stuff is actually like the red dot on Jupiter. Because we got to remember, Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces, and you have that red dot, which apparently is this gigantic, like 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 storm. I think it's like I don't know. It's like a crazy big storm, the red spot on Jupiter. And sometimes it's like I actually think that in another dimension or space, that's probably like just a gigantic rave party that's like just traversing Jupiter. Like it appears to us as like a storm or a red dot, but like in another dimension, it's probably like a rave or a party or something like that, like an endless party. But yeah, a music festival. But anyways, Gemini, let's get into yours. All right. Oh my gosh, there's definitely some type of interesting continuation of energies here. Whoa, Gemini, whoa, what happened? Whoa, this took an interesting Gemini, are y'all gonna play the villain again? Please don't, Gemini. Y'all gonna actually do that? Gemini. It's okay. Actually, I think really what you are just playing is the instigator. That's really what it is. Um, Gemini. So for the card of spirit, we have the Eight of Cups, which was the outcome of the last one. So it's like your spirit kind of picks up where the outcome of Taurus is left off. So it's like for you, Gemini, and this is going to be what your sixth house, right? So this has to do with your day-to-day reality. So some of you emotionally probably have checked out of your day-to-day reality. Some of you emotionally aren't really feeling connected to what you do for a living stuff. So you are feeling pretty emotionally detached. And for you, it's like, you're a mutable air. So it's like you're not necessarily the most attached to your emotions anyways. But lately you've been feeling like you probably feel like you've been internalizing your emotions a bit and stuff, and you might feel a little way down and stuff like that. But really, what's happening is that you're kind of diving deep, like this figure, and you have like this light in your head because you're kind of wanting to uncover something. It's like your curiosity is leading you into a new reality. Your curiosity is just naturally kind of guiding you. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the soul spot. So what's happening, what's coming up, and this is like I'm just channeling and feeling right now. This is like lifetimes of information that's coming up. You have been putting in work, Gemini. You have been putting in work and weaving a beautiful web so these people can understand the messages from the gods, but people don't want to fucking listen. And like a lot of times you will have to play the bad guy, but you're just really it's like, guys, you have to realize that my opposing energy is Sagittarius, or I speak on behalf of the gods. Like y'all speak on behalf of the gods. Like y'all do. Um, y'all also speak on behalf of the demons. But and not all demons are quote unquote bad, and not all gods are quote unquote good either. So we have to really eliminate the way that we see a lot of that stuff. But Gemini, y'all been working hard for such a long time. You really been feeling that you want your work to pay off more than it is now, and it will. You're just having to kind of. What I'm saying for you, Gemini, is that you're gonna end up making some cuts and some decisions to cut some things out of your life so new things can really grow. But you have been putting in work, Gemini. You really have been. The way that you're overcoming this is this Four of Pentacles energy. So for some of you, you have to really be aware of what you're holding on to. It's like you really have to be aware of what you're holding on to. It's either, and this is actually kind of really funny how I was talking about the red dot, and the red dot kind of is appearing right here in the cards. But the Four of Pentacles energy, I'm really feeling it's like if you decide to hold on to the wrong thing, the bridge might not be as stable. And next time we come across this space next year, we may, or actually, I guess when the sun meets up with this spot, what will happen? But then, of course, Venus will come back over by the time the sun passes it. So You know, this really can, it really is going to bring about the stability of the bridge, because the Four of Pentacles, yes, it could be about holding on and hoarding, but also it's about really standing in your truth, standing in your value. So if you're not careful, Gemini, if you don't really stand in your truth, that bridge is not going to be as stable. It's going to be a little bit wobbly. Um, and we have Temperance as your challenge card. So you're overcoming so it's, what's interesting is that the challenge is to integrate. The challenge is to do alchemy. And maybe it's not the most comfortable for you to do that. Maybe it's not the most comfortable because, you know, Gemini, it's like you can like, you know, people are like, you know, Geminis have multiple personalities, whatever like that. They're two-faced, three-faced, four-faced, and you're not supposed to be that. They're a giant mirror. So it's like what's happening right now is that you're learning to integrate all of these different mirrors and aspects of yourself. Geminis have, and we all do, but Geminis have a multitude of personalities, and more than likely, Geminis it does exist because we've conceived of it and seen it in many TV shows and stuff, where there is a realm where it's literally just a bunch of yous, like you as you look right now, and they will be doing everything in that world, you know. Geminis almost kind of come from that place. It's like they kind of stopped by there before they got here. The other, you know, those of us, we kind of connect to it in another way. And I'm just kind of getting weird and like seemingly off topic. But they're trying to learn to integrate these different mirrors. With the water under the bridge is actually the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is like the party card. It's like when you get together and you celebrate. So it's almost like I see like building a bridge across the moving red dot of Jupiter for some reason. But it's like, is there really any point to doing that? Because that thing does move, so you'll have to continually move your bridge. So it's like, I kind of see this as choose where to build your bridges wisely. Choose where to, not all rivers are meant to be crossed in that way. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. I almost see it as like it's better to just kind of hop across stones, or it's better to just appreciate the river for what it is. It's almost better to just, you know, find another way around. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes we'll come to these different areas and we feel like we can make it across, but it's like we don't necessarily have to do it at that exact moment. We don't necessarily have to cross the river at that exact moment. We can go upstream a little bit and find a better way. There's nothing wrong with that. So, and it may even bring about a better, deeper, more beautiful, and profound celebration. So it's almost like the water under the bridge and what's being transformed, what's in the past for Gemini is that, like, you know, it's not that you're not going to be partying anymore. If anything, you're preparing. Uranus is in your 12th house, Gemini, and when Uranus comes into your sign, you are going to be dropping truth bombs. If you aren't already, if y'all thought, oh my gosh, if y'all thought Kanye has said what he's needed to say, if y'all thought Kanye could like not get any like more out there as far as what he says, y'all haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen anything. Uranus has barely gotten into Taurus. Barely gotten into Taurus. Just wait and see. Y'all gonna see some interesting stuff. We do have the Seven of Swords though in the present moment and what to actually appreciate. So this is actually talking about, you know, some people may see you as a bit of a threat. Some people may see you as trying to rob them of their happiness, probably because you're going to be speaking your voice unapologetically. And people are going to be perceiving you as robbing them of their happiness. But really, you're just speaking your truth. Just because you express, I believe we are infinite beings and we create our reality, doesn't mean that Jesus isn't someone else's savior. But that person may, you know, come at you and be like, oh, but what about this, this, and this? And they may not necessarily get it. You're not robbing of them of their happiness. It's it's a deeper recognition. It's like sometimes you have to learn to play the villain. Sometimes you have to learn to just be the villain of other people's life. And Geminis don't really have an issue with that. Gemini will quickly play the villain if they need to. But it's like, don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm kind of waiting for the moment when people kind of like, because we shoot the messenger all the time. We shoot the messenger. Like we almost like we like never really actually get to like the source of it. And like there's like a whole like reconfiguration and like a whole like just drama that's going on with the gods right now. And it's like Gemini's just gonna be like, well, I gotta channel this information. I gotta tell people anyways, right? But it's like some of y'all are gonna be like, y'all gonna be going to these guys and be like, yo, what the fuck, man? Are you serious? You let that happen? And then you let me take it out on such and so and such and so and such and so. And it's like there's an interesting dynamic that's shifting right there as well. So Greek mythology, guys, like as far as like the whole personalities and the fact that the gods actually were flawed, that's part of the reason why I like Greek mythology, or what I appreciate about it is because, like, yes, there are beings that are capable of doing more than what we can do. But does that necessarily mean that they are all benevolent? No, not necessarily. But you also have a version of yourself like that. You also can tap into your source and to that higher self as well. So don't allow that to intimidate you. So I feel like the Seven of Swords is going to be like, you don't mind playing the villain and you don't mind confronting them. But it's almost sort of like people may see it as underhanded, but I really see it, Gemini, as you just like, hey, you just stand in your power. It's another way of you standing in your power. It's like people, like I said, people might feel like you're robbing them of their happiness, but you're not. The Ten of Swords, you're definitely going to be cutting away certain things. Certain things are definitely coming to an end, Gemini. Probably a daily routine, a regimen, a job situation, but something's coming to an end. But we also have the Seven of Pentacles here, which means that it definitely means that there's a harvest on the way, and that all your hard work is actually going to pay off. That Eight of Pentacles is going to pay off, and you're going to have a very bountiful harvest. And it's really going to just come through the power of your voice, the power of you standing in your truth, and the power in believing that all the hard work that you have been putting in from multiple lifetimes is going to in fact pay off. So just hold the course, Gemini, you'll be good. Cancer. All right, Cancer. Can cure. Oh. Whoa. Huh. Interesting. Like I said, it seems like these always have some sort of continuation on from the first one. So for Cancer, for your spirit, we have the card of the Ten of Pentacles appearing for you. This is definitely speaking to financial abundance, prosperity, no worries, comfort, a nice family home life, which is really what you like, Cancer. They very mean right now, LOL, girl. Are you talking about Cancers, Natalie? They're very mean right now. They have a lot of energy opposing them right now. Like they got Pluto, Saturn, Mars was there. Yeah. But yes. They definitely can be. Actually, I do have a video coming out that talks about one that I've been wanting to make about what signs are capable of taking over the world. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun video, so hint hint. But anyways, in the moon slot, we actually have the Nine of Pentacles. So we have the 10 and the 9. So this is speaking to not only a feeling of abundance and actually be able to create that home life with someone else, but also really feeling that within yourself. It's a beautiful thing. So Cancers, a lot of you who may be in a relationship right now or are married right now, things are going to be going well. Things are going to be, it's almost like you're going to get this deeper appreciation for your partner, this deeper appreciation for yourself, for your value, for your independence, for what you're able to achieve, the projects that you're involved in. I like how she's playing the piano too. So it's almost gonna be like your soul's playing music, right? And like your day-to-day reality is gonna feel like this Ten of Pentacles, which might seem a little cheery and stuff like that. It's kind of Disney-like actually. It'd be a little bit more Disney-like if there were cups in here. Well, we actually do have quite a bit of water energy too here, so there's definitely that influence. And it does help that this energy is in Scorpio, which trines your energy. So you actually understand going to these emotional depths more than most other signs because you've been there, you go there, you take a residence there. So for you, this is actually a beautiful time for you to really heal and show the people how to do the same. Interesting enough, though, the way that you are overcoming the challenge is the Death card. So this is about transformation. This is about you overcoming through transformation. This is about you overcoming through metamorphosis, right? We have the Seven of Cups, though, that was the challenge. So I think what was challenging was that you could do this, you could do that, you can go this way, you can go that way. The Seven of Cups is really the grocery store in the Western world. The Seven of Cups is the grocery store in the Western world because it's like you go in there and it's like there's so much that you can get. And it's almost like the amount of choice that you have can kind of like zap you out a bit. It's like, what do you get? What do you get? And stuff like that. And then you get something and then you eat it and it makes you feel a certain way. And some foods make you feel better. Some foods don't make you feel quite as great, but there's just so many options open. So it's like the way that you're overcoming it is I feel like some of these options, some of these opportunities, universe is gonna be like, shut. It's just gonna be shutting doors, shutting windows. Like, nope. It's gonna be blowing them up. It's like, nope. It's almost gonna be like you're going to get to one decision or one path because everything else is going to be blown up, and you're going to be like, so this is the way I have to go. It's gonna feel like your free will is being kind of fucked with, Cancer. It's gonna feel like your free will is being fucked with because the Death card here, that's the way it's going to be overcome, and with the Seven of Cups there, it really means that this is really just fate and just divinely guided. So it's like you're almost going to get like a sort of tunnel vision by the end of this on how to manifest. We have the High Priestess as the waters below the bridge, what's in the past. So you are going through a deep emotional purge. You've been holding on to some water for such a long time. You've been holding on to painful water for such a long time. And now you are getting ready to just let it release. And this is going to begin to open up your psychic abilities more because you're going to be like different energetic junk that was in your like in the pipes and stuff like that. It's going to be cleared out and now it's going to be more free flowing. It's like now your intuition is going to come back up again. You're going to start to you're going to really feel which way to go now. And then you're going to find yourself where certain situations and circumstances will pop up and you will react a certain way. You're going to be finding yourself now able to really circumvent those potential pitfalls and manifestation that we prefer not to have in our experience. And you'll be able to really move throughout this experience better. It's interesting because like you're just finally letting go of all of this that you've held up. We have the King of Cups here though for the card of the now, the present, what you can look forward to, what to appreciate. And some of you, this very well could be a Scorpio or a Pisces or another Cancer. This can be someone that really connects with you on an emotional level, someone that really has a great deal of compassion and sincerity. This could really be you tapping into that energy that you carry within you. So this is definitely going to be a time where you always want to be compassionate for other people, for yourself, realizing that the water under the bridge, the things that people have said, the emotional manipulation and stuff like that. This is also the rebirth of the empath, because the empath partly is due to how much we're talking about and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, this whole victimhood within the empath community, this whole what is it? The word codependency. That's the word. Codependency. Uh, Cancers can definitely be very codependent. They can also be narcissistic, but they can be very codependent as well. So it's like this is also a healing of that dynamic of that there are no victims, that we are all victorious. That yes, we may have been emotionally manipulated and tampered with, which may have seemingly broken certain aspects of our ability to connect, but this is about, healing that, having compassion for ourselves and for other people, regardless of what's happened. But interesting enough, that we have the Seven of Swords appearing in the Sea of Possibilities. So it's like you're going to be wanting to transform. You're going to be wanting to show more compassion and move past things. But in the Sea of Opportunities, you're going to undoubtedly realize that there are going to be certain people that do disappoint you. And that's okay. You're not here to make everybody happy. Cancer. You are not here to make everyone happy. And you're not here to heal everybody either. Y'all are great healers and clerics. Y'all really are. You guys can cure anything. But you're not here to cure everybody. You're not here to save everybody. So yes, you're going to look like a villain to some people. And yes, those opportunities will present themselves. You will swim next to those opportunities. You will collide with those bubbles. You will experience it, and you move on. So it's like, and this is something that we all have to learn too, right? Cancer is my 8th house, so this is definitely about me transforming how I perceive disappointment. Just going to write that down. We have the Ace of Cups here in Cancer for the outcome. The outcome is emotional renewal, emotional fulfillment, really feeling connected to source, really filling up your own cup and really being happy. That is going to be the outcome of this happiness, joy. It's almost going to be like you're not going to be taking things as personally anymore. You still might be a little bit, but like, I had to slide that one in there real fast. But it's just like I said, a great opportunity for you to explore. Some of you may feel like it's just like some of you feel like you may have like no choice in the matter, and that he's like you want to say, dang, do I even have free will? It's like, but the choice that's presenting itself, you did pick it. So we'll see how that transpires. Let me know. All right, Leo, it's time for you. What do we have going on for the Leo crew? What do we have going on for the Leo crew? Oh, interesting. I like that. Okay. Okay, there's some lap over here. All right. Huh, interesting. Okay, Leo, this is what we got for you. With the card of the sun, we actually have the Fool. And interesting, for the card of the moon, we have the sun. So there's going to be some overlap here with Aries, where Aries was the magician, and Leo, you're the Fool. So it's kind of interesting. You probably would have rather it be the other way around. But it's almost, I want you to see this as, you're definitely in this play and you are the main act, but it's almost sort of like, I'm feeling very Truman Show. If you've seen that movie, I'm feeling very Truman Show. It's like, it's Truman Show, but and it's like the whole like thing about it is that they know you know too, but it's like you're just kind of they're like allowing you to play it out, So it's almost like you're playing this lead role in some sort of movie that's being broadcast in another dimension, because that's what Leo is. And they know you know, and you know they know, but it's like you're kind of agreeing to like, all right, well, let's just play this out and see where it goes. So that's really in many ways what the Fool does. The Fool plays it out and sees where it goes. Sometimes you walk off the cliff, sometimes you don't. Sometimes there's a trampoline at the bottom of that cliff. Sometimes you walk into a cloud that carries you away. Sometimes you fall into the ocean. Sometimes you fall on rocks. But really, this is about having the courage to move through and realizing that you are connected to spirit. You are connected. You are the sun. You are that fixed fire, that fixed fiery blaze power source of creation, and bam, I'm going to get it done. Yes, yes, just basking in that radiance. That's you, Leo. That is you. So it's like, but I'm getting very Truman Show-esque. I do have the Ten of Swords as far as how you're going to overcome the challenge. And the challenge was that of the Ace of Swords. So what I've seen this as is that you actually are choosing to end certain ways of communication, or you're looking to end certain, I would say, even beliefs that you have told yourself. Whereas the Ace of Swords can be things that you have always said, or people talk a certain way around you, but then you're starting to realize that, hey, that doesn't necessarily vibe with me, and you want to start to stand up for yourself a bit more. So that can come up as well. I think what also can be happening here is that you are really going to be you're really going to be looking at how you communicate with people, and you're really going to be looking at how to transform that and overcome that. So it's like for some of you, for some of you, you may be going back on promises that you've made. You know, that's it. That's part of this. Or maybe something that you've said that you promised someone, and you might be going back on that. Some of you may be experiencing just general communication breakdowns with people, and you're trying to figure out why it's happening because your intentions are good, but maybe people are seeing that you're trying to either hurt them or stab them in the back because the normal Ten of Swords energy is like the man laying flat, and there are swords in their back. So maybe you had good, powerful intentions with this Ace of Swords, but people are perceiving it as you stabbing them in the back. We have the Knight of Cups as far as what's the water under the bridge. So that has to do with these emotions and these deeper currents, and kind of what we aspire towards and what we desire. So what you're kind of letting go of is kind of everyone's just like, I'm thinking of the Knight of Cups right now. I'm thinking literally of like teenage angst, like teenage emotions and all that stuff like that. That's sort of being let go of. It's almost sort of like you're letting go of high school drama in a sense. Although I do feel like life is sort of like an extension of high school in many ways, but I think it's actually transferring to college. So it's like you're going to be upgrading from high school drama to college drama. Um, but what's happening is now you're letting go of all the high school-esque drama. So you're leaving that in the past. You don't need that anymore, Leo. Cutting it, you're done. It's actually going to allow you to kind of, it's going to allow you to forgive people. It's going to allow you to kind of open up to like, oh, well, they're just being, you're probably not going to be taking things as personally, which is a good thing. We have the Judgment card as far as what to embrace at the moment. So there's definitely a sense of fate that's really coming up here. And the fate is the Six of Cups. So some of you guys are going to be meeting your soulmate. Some of you guys are going to be meeting your soulmate. Some of you guys have already met your soulmate. Some of you guys have a cat that is your soulmate. Anyways, yeah, pets can be your soulmate too, by the way, just letting you know. So Judgment's coming up. There's definitely going to be sort of like a call to order. You'll be like called to your destiny in many ways. It's like, it's kind of like the bat signal, and it's like it's like a call to action. So it's like, and it's actually going to help you. The good thing about this is that since you're detaching a bit from the Knight of Cups energy, it's really going to allow you to step into a place of non-judgment, which is going to really allow you to see and kind of feel this nostalgia, because that's going to be the sea of, that's the ocean of possibilities. It's this Six of Cups. So it's like, it's definitely going to bring about this Disney-esque feeling, I feel, for you. feeling I feel for you. Wow, that made a lot of sense. But it's almost kind of like Alice in Wonderland even too. Now we do have the Seven of Wands as the outcome. So it's like the outcome is that you're going to have to stand your ground once again. The outcome is that you're going to have to stand in your radiance and the beacon of who you are once again. And it's almost going to be like, well, I'm just trying to be a lighthouse on the cliff of this rocky ledge, and the water just crashing in and just making this. And you're trying to be a lighthouse for people. Sometimes you're trying to be a lighthouse for people, and they don't really see it, and they want to tear you down. Don't let them tear you down. And also realize that before you can be a lighthouse for other people, you have to be a lighthouse for yourself, because you have gone out in a boat into the ocean and you've gotten lost, and you can actually bring yourself back into the shore, but you have to be your own lighthouse first. So that's really what this is about. It's about you establishing your own radiance, your own truth, your own light. All right, we have Virgo. Gossip games. I enjoyed Leo season. I enjoyed Leo and Gemini season because it was hashtag petty game. The next hashtag petty game is going to be Pisces season, so that's going to be really fun. I guess, well, no, Sagittarius hashtag blunt game. It's not really petty; it's more blunt. So, but Pisces season is going to be hashtag petty game again. It's going to be fun. So, all right. So Virgo, what do we have going on for you? Virgo. All right. Huh. Wow. Okay, Virgo. I see the energies you guys are playing with. That's interesting. All righty then. Let's go. All right. Get ready. We're going on a ride, literally. So, for this card of Spirit, Virgo, we have the card of the Eight of Wands, which means that life is a wild ride. You're going to be whisked away into an adventure. But then by the time this Venus retrograde is over, Jupiter will have moved into Sagittarius. So that for you is what, your fourth house, right? So your everyday life is definitely about, or your home life especially, is really going to take off into a new direction. But really what's happening is that this is going to be just fast development. Things are happening quick. You know, it's almost like you're going to be acting on impulse with a lot of these things. With the moon, or the card of the soul, we do have the star card. So a lot of this is fated. A lot of this is really guided by your spiritual guides. And it's like you're connecting back to all of these different star systems that you've inhabited. I mean, this is appearing in the spot of the moon, so this is about your soul, and like in many ways, it's about you tapping into your soul beads, you know. And it's like when you go into each of those beads and each of those worlds, you kind of recall the experience and the message of that energy. So you're going to be recalling a lot of the places that you've been, Virgo. A lot of the places that you've been in this life and elsewhere in the etheric realms. We have the Two of Pentacles appearing as how you're overcoming. So really what I see this is that you are putting one step in front of the other. And I think this is really cool because it's almost like you're kind of building this bridge in many ways in another reality, because you have, you have the one coin right here, and you have the other coin right here, and you can in many ways can see that there's a bridge being attempted to be made between these two aspects. So it's almost like you're building this bridge. So we have the challenge as the Emperor card. So the challenge is actually your own mind, your own ability to really conceive and believe that you can get things done, that you have the power to get things done through your will. So it's like you really have to learn to take it one step at a time, especially since the energy is so quick and fast. It's like you kind of want time to kind of catch your breath and stuff like that, but it's almost like the universe is going to be whisking you away. So it's like this is why you have to really throw out these ideas of doubts and fear and that you can't do it, because the universe is going to be putting it right in front of you. It's like you have like a time limit to build this bridge, kind of, and it's like you can't have any doubt about it. You can't have any doubt that you can get this thing done. We have the judgment card as the water under the bridge, so stop judging yourself. Yeah, that's what I feel. Stop judging yourself, you know? And that's kind of interesting that the water under the bridge for Virgo is judgment, because let's be real, you guys are very hypercritical. So, and it may come from a place of love. It's like, oh, you should do it this way, like that. You guys can be hypercritical, and with the Libra second house, you actually do in many ways value not necessarily judgment, but you value critiquing. So be wary of if your critiques are coming across as legitimate critiques where you're not just saying, oh, you should do it this way, and you're not really explaining how doing it that way could benefit them or how it benefited you, and show them or show yourself how you did it and how it works for you and how they could apply it to them and it could work for them too. So it's like you really are releasing this whole hypercritical attitude. What's opening up, what's in the current moment is the Seven of Cups. So there's so many different worlds, so many different journeys and adventures that you can tap into. I think the way that you kind of know which one to go for, though, is based off of this Nine of Swords card, which appears in What is Possible, the ocean of possibilities. And the Nine of Swords, it speaks to this idea of binding ourselves. It speaks to this idea of us not really seeing the opportunities that are placed before us, and us really kind of just not even getting out of bed. It's like we sometimes we'll get stuck and just stay in bed because we feel like we can't make it, we won't do it, we feel like why bother. In this deck, it's interesting. He's like kind of like looking up into the sky as these birds fly away. And as I look at this, what I kind of see this as is going up. It's a circle, and then he has the wings. It's like sometimes we really do fool ourselves into believing that we can't fly too, but we absolutely can fly. Now, the outcome we have is the Devil card. So this is really, in many ways, speaking to a lot of this Capricorn energy. Saturn's there, Pluto's there. So a big part of this energy is really going to be like, what can be the outcome of this? Like, you could deceive yourself. You could really tap into a little more of your animalistic pleasures. You may find yourself tempted throughout this time, but I think there are going to be some temptations that you should really actually get into. And this is a very scorpionic thing to say, but there are some temptations that you should get into, because it's actually by getting into those temptations that you're really going to discover a deeper repressed aspect of yourself that you can integrate. And then once you recall that aspect of yourself and you release the shame from it, you will gain a bit of a superpower. And it's going to be really awesome, actually. So, yeah, Virgo, just know that you're guided. Know that you are really learning to not be as hypercritical, at least right now in this time during this Venus retrograde, because it's not really helping you to be that way. So, it's definitely going to be an adjustment in the way that you communicate with yourself and other people. All right, Libra, we're halfway through and it's 5:43. Oh my gosh, how long is this video going to be? I only say that because I could keep going. I really could, but it's like I want to just make sure that you guys, I'm not like boring you guys. But like I said, I will timestamp it. So I appreciate those who have watched the up until now. Like I really do. Y'all are freaking awesome. All right, so Libra, this Venus retrograde is huge for you. What's going on? Okay, this is definitely a big follow your gut, follow your intuition. So for the spot of spirit, we have the Six of Swords. So kind of what you're acting out, what's being revealed to you is this need to leave behind a certain situation, the need to kind of move on. In many ways, this could be just removing yourself from a fear that you feel has been gripping you. This could be you flying above those fears, really like overstanding it, realizing that you don't have to succumb to um, different derogatory things that people say about you. You can overcome. Now, whether and sometimes what people say is true, and we don't like it, and it's like, well, I want to fix that spot. I want to fix that part of me. Don't really be so concerned about what they said. Just be concerned about your transformation. Just be concerned about rising above and moving forward. Okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the spot of the soul or the moon. So kind of similar to Gemini, you've been kind of putting in a lot of hard work, and it's almost like you've been kind of like it's almost like you've kind of perfected a way of harvesting a certain amount, but now you're kind of wanting a little bit more. And there's a bit of this. It's almost like you've been able to have like the same yield for like 5, 6, or 7 different seasons, and there's something wrong with that. You're appreciative of it, but you do want a little bit more. And it's okay to want more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. Don't fall for this whole delusion that more is bad. Because I mean, I think sometimes minimal is bad, and not that there's anything that's really good or bad. It's more or less, you know, it's really your preference and it's where your vibration is at the current moment. There have been lifetimes where you were rich beyond your wildest dreams. There are other lifetimes where you were homeless on the street. We've all played all different roles and stuff like that. So, but it's what I'm really feeling is that you are wanting to manifest more. You really are wanting to bring forth more. We have the Ten of Wands as how you're going to overcome the challenge. The challenge of which is your card, Justice. So what I see is, oh man, I really do feel like this applies to me, Mom. Anyways, what I see is that you may have been feeling that there has been a lack of justice in your life. You really have been feeling like justice has not been served. And it's almost like you're carrying this burden. And it's like it's been hard for you to walk across this bridge because in many ways you are this bridge. You are the bridge to the upper half of the zodiac. And it's like it's almost like you're the one who's like holding up, the bridge on both sides and stuff like that. And you're trying to like hold it up so people can walk through to walk on, but it's like sometimes like you can't hold up. Your muscles give out and you fall. It's too much to hold on to. But it's interesting how what you're overcoming is justice or non-justice. We have the Eight of Swords as what's under the bridge. So really what the water under the bridge is really truly letting go of your confinement, truly letting go of that which has held your mind hostage. Because then you'll be able to tap back into Mother Gaia. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. You'll be able to tap back into that receptive energy and really that how I'm seeing, planting a seed and then just seeing that seed sprout saplings and that sapling go into a tiny little tree and that tree growing into a massive tree, you know, tapping back into that, realizing that, really Libra, this is like of course we need people. Libra is the sign of people, right? But it's almost like you realizing, what, I don't need anybody to maintain a strong connection to source but myself. You have your own root system into the earth. You have your own root system into the source of everything. So, yes, you want to build bridges. You want to connect. You want to communicate. Absolutely. But it's also a time about finding your independence, too. We have the Five of Pentacles as the ocean of possibilities. I don't mean to laugh, but what's saying here is that you may still feel some sense of depravity or lack of abundance, but it's possible possible. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's possible. But the moon is actually in the slot of the outcome. So follow your gut. Follow your gut. What does the flow tell you? What do your feelings tell you? Have you been holding up certain bridges and for such a long time? Are certain bridges even worth holding up? Are you wanting to burn certain bridges? Maybe you'll reconnect to them in another lifetime. Who knows? Are you willing to let go of your confinement? Because sometimes your confinement can become your home, and then you don't even see that you actually put yourself in a bit of a spiritual jail. So Libra, don't really allow yourself to be in spiritual jail. This being a retrograde, bail yourself out, pardon yourself, forgive others, and move on. And really, stand for your truth, stand for what you believe in. And yes, there will be injustice in the world, but in a world where there is justice, there must be injustice. And it's funny, injustice, injustice, like from the inside. It's funny how injustice, we say things are, oh, that's so injustice. And it's like, that's coming from within. I think we have to redefine the way that we look at that term. What you think? Anyways, Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. My fellow Scorps, the card that we have for you is the cards that we have for you. All right, I'm going to do my best to speed up the rest of this because I know it's getting pretty long now. So that's what happens when you do an 8 card spread for 12 signs. But I want to do this, so it's okay. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, Scorpio. So this is what we got going on. So your spirit's going to be kind of celebrating. You have the 3 of Cups. Your spirit's going to want to be celebrating. It's going to want to feel good. It's going to want to feel like it needs to connect with other people, appreciate the moment, and that's good because the sun is coming in Scorpio soon. It will be in Scorpio during this Venus retrograde. So it's going to be your birthday period, your revitalization period, your Phoenix rising period. So it's going to be very natural that you're going to be obviously celebrating your birthday, right? We do have the King of Swords appearing in the spot of the moon or the soul. So definitely some of you are connecting with an air sign right now. Either Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius is playing a very significant role in your life right now. We have the Knight of Cups as the card of overcoming, and the challenge is the Magician. So I think what's happening is that you're overcoming your belief that you can manifest. You overcoming, or even like a disbelief in this, your manifestation abilities and capabilities. The Knight of Cups, just like it's almost going to be like you really are going to be just driven by your emotions. You're really going to be driven by your soul and your heart to really get what you want. And it's almost going to be like you won't even care about any it's like any ways that you might have negatively or perceivably negatively manifested things before, or maybe tripped up before, or not manifested quite to the ability that you wanted to. You're not going to be worried about that. You're going to be going for that holy grail. And the water beneath the bridge is the Ten of Cups. This is also the energy that's being transformed, which speaks to this deep emotional fulfillment. So it's kind of interesting because like some of you may leave behind a situation that you may have seen as really, really like happy for such a long time, but maybe it turns out that you're not as happy as you want to be. But that's really going to be determined by what your definition of happiness is. Some of you may be leading a good thing. Some of you, maybe your good thing is actually transforming into a better thing. But it's really going to be kind of dependent upon where are you setting your sights on. That's what the Knight of Cups is. Where are you setting your sights on? What do you see for yourself? How do you think you're going to get there? We have the Emperor appearing at the spot of the present and the now. So this is about enacting your will to get things done, enacting your will to move forward with your projects or relationships, taking things to the next level. The Sea of Possibilities, we actually have the Tower here, which is interesting because I think for you, it's like you probably feel coming on that things are collapsing, things are breaking, and this is also in many ways of Pluto and Capricorn energy coming out. Pluto, your ruling sun, your ruling planet. So like, yeah, things are definitely going to be ending and transforming. But I think this is bridging you to a new reality because we have the Two of Pentacles here. So there's a bit of lap over, I feel, with this Virgo energy as well. Yeah, Virgo. As far as like actually building and constructing this bridge. So the outcome is that you're going to take the next step, and it's almost like you're going to be happy regardless, stuff like that. But you really do want to just ask yourself seriously, what is it that makes me happy? What is it that just makes me feel that radiance, feel that exuberance? Just if it makes me feel like I could go for anything and achieve anything I want, you're really going to be asking yourself that, maybe questioning your manifestation abilities. But if you really enact your will and just really truly believe that you can get it done, you will get it done. But you're definitely going to be having a party. It's definitely going to be a fun birthday period for you, Scorpio. All right, Sagittarius, Swagatarius, Swagatarius. All right. Sagittarius. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh wow! So this is definitely going to be kind of very Alice in Wonderland kind of for you. So in the card of Spirit, the Sun, we actually have the Devil card, which seems kind of diametrically opposed to that energy, right? But I think what's happening here is that you're almost going to be kind of like playing devil's advocate for this Venus retrograde. And this is definitely a very karmic time for you because this is happening in your 12th house, so it's definitely very spiritual in nature. But it's almost going to be kind of like you're playing devil's advocate a bit and teaching people lessons when it comes to those aspects. When it comes to these deeper desires, deeper wants, we have the Seven of Pentacles here, so similar to Libra. It's like you feel like you have been putting in hard work, but you feel like you've been kind of putting out the same harvest. You feel like you've been yielding like the same each time, and you're kind of wanting more. You're kind of wanting to experience more, and you will. Jupiter's coming into your sign. Jupiter's coming home, baby. So it's definitely going to happen. We have the Nine of Cups appearing in the overcome spot, and we have the Seven of Cups as the challenge. So the challenge is that you can go on whatever adventure you want. That's actually the challenge. The way you're going to overcome it is by realizing that no matter what journey you pick, you will achieve a level of emotional satisfaction and success and happiness. But you may be caught up on which direction to take. You may be really caught up on which adventure to go. And it's like you're going to be able to overcome and experience that depth of joy and that happiness regardless of what way you go. You may not experience it immediately. It may take a few miles down the road to actually experience it, but you will. The water beneath the bridge is in many ways the Sun card. And I think the reason why you're kind of playing devil's advocate, it's almost kind of like you have two different vantage points, because it's like in the spot of the Spirit or the Sun is the Devil, but then we got the Sun card down here. So it's almost like the water under the bridge are all of these fears that we've casted out and all of these deeper desires that we don't necessarily. There's more animalistic pleasures, I guess you could say, that we need more carnal pleasures that we, may or may not vibe with as much anymore and stuff like that. We have the Ten of Pentacles, though, however, in the present moment, you know, and what can be achieved and what can be appreciated, which is this infinite abundance, this infinite prosperity, the belief that we really are everything, we really are the universe. So it's going to be like, there's some, like I said, it's kind of like you're playing devil's advocate, but you're also kind of like, it's almost kind of like you're a double agent in kind of, sort of, but it's kind of like a big cosmic joke, honestly. That's why I kind of feel like it is. It's like kind of like this big cosmic joke. That's what makes Sagittarius so blunt. Um, for the ocean of possibilities, we have the Page of Pentacles. So what I really seeing as possible is that really the Page of Pentacles is, it's like the apprentice, you know, of, whatever element. It's the apprentice, it's the energy of apprenticeship. So this is talking about the apprenticeship of manifesting things physical, bringing things into physical reality. So for you, it's like, there's so much great possibility and so much potential in whatever direction that you take. And it's going to bring you just these physical experiences that are really going to kind of blow you away. And with the Six of Cups energy here as well for the outcome, some of you are definitely going to be meeting your soulmate as well. Some of you are going to be meeting your soulmate. Some of you guys are already with your soulmate. Some of your soulmate is your dog or your cat or your parakeet. But what's going to happen is that they're really going to begin to open up your experience and show you just uh, how magical this is. And I know I say all these terms, magical, beautiful, and adventure and stuff, but like I really want you to really I really want to drive that home, and I really want you to think about that, how society actually could be structured and look like. All the movies and all the stuff that we see, we think it's all fantasy and it's not real, but it is real. We can conceive of it as possible, and it is real. So a lot of that stuff, I'm telling you, I don't have to tell Sagittarius this because y'all know this. Y'all see dragons, y'all see fairies, y'all see the spirits, y'all see the unicorns, y'all see the uh, y'all see the Wookiees. I was gonna say Chewbacca's, but yeah, y'all see all this stuff. So I don't even have to tell y'all, but you know, believe in yourself, Sagittarius. Do you believe in yourself? Sagittarius, Sagittarius, do you believe in yourself? Capricorn, Capricorn, the cards that we have for you, Cappy. Seven of Pentacles consistently is coming up here. Okay, Cappies. Not really surprised because Pluto's in your sign. So in the card of Spirit, in many ways, this is what you're experiencing and acting out. The Seven of Pentacles. So many of you are harvesting the fruits of your labor, what you have been working for. You are ready to collect on the work that you have been putting in. But we also have the Tower and the card slot of the Moon, or your soul, these emotions. So it's like emotionally, you're feeling like something's kind of coming to an end. It's almost like you had to like sacrifice something to get that harvest. That's how you probably feel. That's probably how you feel. Um, for the card of the overcoming, we have the Five of Swords. And then for the challenge card, we have the Fool. Some of y'all are dealing with some foolish people. Some of y'all Capricorns are dealing with people who are wasting your time. And you do not want to waste a Cappy's time. Capricorn, some of you guys are wasting time with people. I'm just going to be blunt. And it's like, you don't want to take all the swords in the battlefield. You don't want to backstab people. You don't want to feel like you are against people. But some people are wasting your time. Some people are wasting your time. And it's like you feel it too. That's why the Tower card is here. Like you feel it. There may be a challenge to where it's like you may want to cut certain people off, or you may feel like you need to control a certain situation, and you may act according so, or like in a way that, you know, this may bring up different communication errors that you have with other people, different disagreements, misfires, and the intentions that you're setting forth. Like I said, some of you are wasting your time with people that they don't really get you. They don't get why you do the things that you do. Um, and they probably think that you might be a little just too aloof, maybe just so focused in on achieving. And sometimes Capricorn can do that. But don't forget the fact that Capricorn is the sea goat. So Capricorn doesn't forget where it comes from. Yeah, it rose out of the ocean. So it rose out of those emotions. Capricorn's also it's also a sign of emotional intelligence in many ways. But what can happen is that sometimes you can get so far up, you can get so far away from where you've come from that you forget about, you know, how to really interact with those kinds of or interact with people in a more compassionate way. But a truly evolved Capricorn is an incredibly emotionally intelligent being. It's someone who can lead a group of people, but then still connect with them as if they weren't their leader. And you know that kind of leader is kind of rare to find, where they have the capacity to lead, but also have the capacity to kind of like fall in and be a part of, you know, the crew and stuff like that. So the water under the bridge was then, of course we do have Pluto here, and Mars was in Capricorn too. So it definitely has been transformed. It definitely has been influenced in how you enact and initiate and get things done. We also have the Four of Swords. So some of you guys probably have been working, and now you're actually getting a time to kind of rest a little bit. Um, you're getting an opportunity to be like, universe, like, okay, Capricorn, I see that you definitely are moving forward. I definitely can see that you have been putting in a lot of work. And just, I am I'm hearing the universe wants you to kind of lay your head down on a pillow right now. Just kind of relax, let things go. Don't be as rigid. Don't try and control the situation too much. Rest and let it flow. Let it flow. We have the King of Wands appearing for what is open, what is possible. So some of you will be connecting with fire signs, either Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Or really what's possible is, well, you definitely can be, especially if you're Capricorn. This could be a business partner. Um, and I don't even want to get so stereotypical because, they say Capricorn like real business. I don't want to get that stereotypical. But for some of you, it can't be a business partner. It could be someone that you're really wanting to work with. It could be your partner, like your romantic partner, or like a family member or a friend. But what's possible is really that you guys are going to kind of be working together to really bring forth this energy. I'm thinking King of Wands energy meeting your cardinal Earth energy. This is like a volcano. I'm thinking like the Hawaiian Islands as they're formed, as the lava flows meet the ocean, it creates slowly over time new rock and new parts of the island are born. So it's like I kind of see that. And even though this, like I said, this watery energy, but this is Venus retrograde in Scorpio, so this does apply. But it's like you're having to kind of like meet these two different areas, this fire and this earth, and really it's like, okay, how can I ground this purpose through some purposeful action? How do I ground this and move this thing forward and manifest? You're going to see that really, you're going to be feeling super powerful. You're going to feel like there are endless possibilities. But we do have the card of death and the outcome. So something is transforming and you feel it. You feel it because we have the Tower card here and the Death card here. So something is transforming. Something is moving to another stage. Something is rising from the ashes and you can feel it. You're preparing for it. This is really the transit where you don't want to just hold on and be stressful and hold that tension. You want to let go, be stressed. Take a deep breath. And move forward. All right. Aquarius. Aquarius, the cards that we have for you. Aquas, 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 the card that we have for you. Card that we have for you. Wonder how long I've been going in this video. It's got to be close to 2 hours. We're almost done though, so that's okay. So I will put timestamps in. Okay. Aquarius. How are y'all doing? Y'all like my shirt? Am I in? Am I in with the Aquarius crew now? Watch, the moment I get in with the Aquarius crew, they'll all leave and be like, oh, they'll be like, oh my gosh, no. They'll be like, this is too hipster, we gotta get out of here. Yeah, I gotta realize, hipster is more Gemini and Libra. Aquarius is like hipster of the hipster. Aquarius is like hipsters, like oh, hipster is what's in. Being not in is what's in. So Aquarius will go the other way, right? All right, Aquarius, what we have going on? Oh. This is probably exactly how my fiance feels. I could see it as I was unraveling it. So for the card of spirit, the sun, we actually have the Three of Wands. So you kind of literally are personifying looking out at the ocean and being like, okay, there's an ocean of possibilities out there, an ocean of infinite possibilities out there. Where am I gonna go? That's what the Three of Wands is. It's like you're pondering, contemplating. It's like you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. The moon, however, is in the spot of the soul. We have the Six of Swords. So emotionally, you're kind of tied up to something that you might be feeling like you want to let go of, and that might influence where you go to when you go out to this ocean of possibilities. We do have the Page of Cups as how you're going to overcome the challenge, which is the Two of Cups. So for you, Aquarius, the challenge could be connecting in a deeper way. The challenge can be a relationship. The challenge can be a romantic relationship. Um, and that doesn't mean that the relationship is over, that you need to leave the person, but it can provide a major challenge this month for you because, relationships in themselves transform over time. So as we begin to change and move forward throughout life, as our partners change, we begin to do certain things that may and may not resonate as much with us. They begin to change. They begin to change in their physical appearance. I'm not going to sweep this under the rug. I'm just going to be honest. It happens, stuff like that, and we're conditioned to believe that we're supposed to be attracted a certain way, or we're supposed to be attracted to a certain way of looking, a certain way of being. So relationships can certainly provide for you a challenge this Venus retrograde. The way that you're overcoming it is interesting with this Page of Cups energy. So it's like you're going to overcome these emotions with more emotions. But it's like, and it's funny because you are not really the most, you're probably one of the most emotionally distant signs. And that's not bad. That's just meaning that the moon in Aquarius, which the moon is in Aquarius, is a person who is certainly open up to the infinite possibilities, but they're not necessarily going to emotionally attach themselves to one or another. They kind of remain open. So this Page of Cups energy is going to kind of allow you to kind of remain open and become sort of like a student of your emotions, a student of how you feel about things, and really stepping into the role of really developing that emotional intelligence. So maybe not necessarily reacting as fast, or kind of it's almost going to get you in touch with your emotions a bit more, but you might not be expressing it outwardly to people. We do have the Five of Wands as the water under the bridge. So you're letting go of that hashtag petty game. There are things, Aquarius, that happened to you during Gemini season and Leo season that you're going to be letting go of. You're letting go of this hashtag petty game. It's done. over, let it go, it will transform. You'll see them in the next life, and you'll probably laugh about whatever happened. We do have the devil card appearing as far as the present moment, the now, what we can appreciate. And for you, this is about you kind of appreciating some of these deeper desires, these deeper wants, these carnal pleasures and stuff like that. Kind of appreciating these darker aspects. Really probably also learning to integrate those into your light, integrating those into how you wish to see yourself. Yeah, some of you guys, well, yeah, there's definitely some Capricorn influence here. The moon, of course, like right now is in Aquarius, so it just got out of Capricorn. Mars, of course, conjunct the moon, which retrograded into that spot. That's your 12th house. So there's definitely a lot of faded energy coming in. A lot of faded endings are coming in with Pluto being in your 12th house. So it hasn't really been easy on Aquariuses. So some of y'all may be feeling a bit of a hermit. Some of you, maybe the way that maybe this Two of Cups in here, this challenge is that you want a relationship. Some of you Aquarius probably want a relationship right now, like really bad. And this is not just sun, this is moon, rising, or whatever. Or if you just feel like you're vibing with this energy, some of you have been maybe wanting it, but it's almost like you're wanting it to happen is what's preventing it from happening. You know what I mean? So we have the Ten of Pentacles as far as what is possible. Anything is possible. Like really, infinite abundance is possible. The outcome, the Seven of Cups, which means that anything is possible. Aquarius, there is some sort of ending, and I really feel like for you, it's kind of you're letting go of a lot of the pettiness. You're kind of letting go of that. It's like, oh, let's get real. Aquarius, you guys are know-it-alls. You guys are geniuses. So it's going to be like, oh, these foolish mortals. It's not their fault they don't understand this higher vibrational information that I'm bringing to them from the future, no less, because I am a time traveler. So you know what? I'm just going to be me and just bask in my prosperity, bask in my abundance. And that's not a prideful thing. That's your divine inheritance. That's your divine inheritance. Don't let anyone fool you into feeling bad about being abundant. Don't let that happen. That goes for everybody. But Aquarius, don't let anyone fool you into believing that you can, not feel good for being abundant. Okay? And Pisces. We finally have gotten to Pisces. Pisces. The card that we have for you. The cards that we have. The cards that we have for you. The card that we have. Okay. Thank you all who have stuck with me up to this point. I do appreciate it. Like I said, I will go back and timestamp it, so if you want to come back and look at it afterwards, you can do so. Don't get intimidated by the length of the video. Oh, okay. Well, it seems like the sun is really playing a significant role because I keep drawing the sun. So this Libra season is very powerful and transformative. Let me just say that. It really, really is. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, Pisces. So here we go. We do have the sun appearing in the card of spirit. So in many ways, you are also kind of living out, and everyone is, but it's almost like you're kind of just like, Pisces, you rule the feet. So it's like, I really like to think of Pisces as like, every step you take is like this, every step you take here is a very important step. This goes for everybody, but Pisces, especially, like every step you take is a very important step. It's like literally it's sending a message to spirit. It's like sending a message there. So it's like I don't want that to freak you out and stuff like that, but this is what makes you guys so magical and stuff. That really you guys can do and manifest anything you want. We have the Ten of Wands here. So emotionally, in your soul, you feel dreary. You are carrying with you so much information from so many life experiences, doing the same thing in some cases. Some of you may have been, the hermit in the mountains for like 10 lifetimes in a row. Some of you may have been the mother of like a bunch of children for multiple lifetimes in a row. So you're carrying with yourself the burden of these emotions that you haven't quite cleared from all these areas, and this is holding back your ability to manifest. So we have the Knight of Pentacles appearing in the way that you overcome. And the card that we have as far as the challenge is Temperance. So we have, once again, another challenge to integrate, another challenge to bring two things together that seem diametrically opposed. Pisces rules the two fish. It's like, the one fish that is kind of tapped into this reality, tapped into what's happening here. But then you have the other fish that's really like in the other realm, the other world, the under the water, what's not seen, what's not known. So it's like you're really going to be learning to integrate these different aspects, the light and the dark. The way that you're going to get through it is by embodying the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. So having this initiation and action energy when it comes to your value. So acting on your value, taking actions where you really do believe in your worth, and you begin to really seriously stand on your truth. We have the Queen of Wands as water under the bridge. So for some of you, this could be a fire sign, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Really, what I can see this as, I feel there's a connection between the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Maybe for some of you, it's like you've been carrying. I kind of actually see it as maybe there was someone that you probably promised something in a past lifetime, and you've been kind of carrying this, I guess, burden of not telling people or not informing people, or this promise or whatever. And it's like you're really trying to ask yourself whether or not maybe you should break the promise, or I don't know. I get what I get is that it's like somebody has been expecting you to carry a particular burden for such a long time, and you don't necessarily have a problem with carrying it, but you are starting to realize that it's holding you back. And I think they are too. So I think you're going to actually attract into your life the opportunity to reconcile, and you don't have to carry this anymore. Like they take personal responsibility for what's happened to between the two of you, or whatever it is you're carrying from it. It's actually going to open up a level of deeper trust with this individual too. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. So this present moment is so abundant. It's just sometimes we have to open our eyes and see what is there, you know. And we get messages of our abundance every single day, and it's really a beautiful feedback loop of positive feedback, positive affirmation. And yes, sometimes negative things get caught in that feedback loop, and it's good to get them caught in that feedback loop, because sometimes we have to learn, we have to go through certain experiences multiple times for us to learn the lesson, and that's okay, it happens. But what's being called up right now, what's being called to be appreciated right now, is just how fortunate you are. You are here, you are here, you are living, you are breathing. We have another opportunity. We have the Seven of Swords appearing in the what is possible. So kind of similar to what was it? I think it was a Libra. Kind of similar there. Yes, there's a possibility for you to be disappointed. Yes, there's a possibility for you to feel backstabbed. Yes, there's a possibility for people to not really understand why you do the things that you do or why you feel a certain way. Yes, there's going to be people that are like that. And you can't make everyone happy, though. You're not here to make everyone happy. You're here to have your experience, your journey. You're here to be happy. And by being in that happiness is actually what's going to infect those around you. We have the Eight of Wands here as the outcome. So life is really going to pick up. You got to think that Jupiter is your traditional sign. It's already met the Sagittarius, so this is actually going to be a really good thing for you. You're going to really be feeling the magic again. You're really going to be feeling like anything is possible. It's like you're just going to be like, you're like your neighbor will like walk outside and they'll see you like swimming through the air and they'll be like looking at you like, what the hell? And you'll be like, oh hey, what's up? Like it's nothing. Like you'll just be sitting there swimming through the air with a unicorn and a dolphin and a griffin and whatever else around you, whatever. I like how I loved dolphins and looking at the animals. But yeah, you're gonna be doing that. People are gonna be looking at you like, what in the world's going on with you? You're just living in the abundance, the magic. You're like, can't you guys see what is possible here? Fast developments. Definitely, like I said, appreciating abundance, wanting to move things forward. And I'm gonna draw one more card for the whole collective, and I'm going to get it out of this video. But I really do appreciate you guys sticking with me. I know this was a pretty long one, but it happens. So I definitely do appreciate it though. But let's draw one more color card for everybody. What is Venus retrograde? And like I said, I'm probably gonna make another Venus retrograde video. I'm probably gonna do like a channeled message. Either I might do it tonight because I didn't do the daily today, but I want to make sure I do the Pokemon Oracle card reading first. So I might do a channeled message tonight or sometime later this week. So I'm going to continue to talk about this throughout the retrograde because I want to talk to myself and pump myself up and help myself through it, but I want to help you through it as well. That's why I put up these videos. I want to bring awareness to the cosmic weather. We have the card of orange. The card of orange, which says to nurture yourself. Protect yourself, nurture yourself. Protect yourself, nurture yourself. That is very beautiful. And that actually it's very applicable. Protect yourself is the Scorpio energy where you actually cut off a boundary. You protect yourself. You realize that you are protected by your guides and your angels. And then when you protect yourself, you nurture yourself. Listen to good music. Have good food. Have a cup of tea at night. Have a glass of wine if that really is a way to help you calm down and nurture yourself. There can definitely be moments where we want to maybe overindulge and really take things really far. So of course, be wary of that. But this is a time, blue and orange, they go very well together, right? The colors. So protect yourself, nurture yourself. Realize, with Sandshrew here, realize that you can make it through anything, even the most desolate, arid of conditions and circumstances. You can make it through, you can survive, you can thrive, and just know that we are going through this deep psychological, psychic, emotional transformation. And in the way that we connect with ourselves, in the way that we connect with each other. So that is it for this Venus reading for all 12 signs. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know it was a bit long, but hey, that happens sometimes. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening, day, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, I am running a sale through the end of October with 25% off of all of my services. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, you can follow the link in the description below to theaquarianadepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile.